How y'all beautiful ladies and gentlemen doing? It's been a minute, hasn't it? I'm here with a little bit of an upgrade, right? I had to do it to him. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep this as raw as we possibly can. You know, this is the raw format, right? This is the best format. So I'm looking at my microphone, my interface to make sure that it's still going green. But let's get to it, right? So the problem is not that you feel too much. The problem is that every feeling keeps trying to become king. And if you're not careful, one bad hour will start taking it like it owns your whole life, right? Close your eyes and walk with me for a second. Picture a pendulum, you know, like the triangle thing with the line going back and forth, back and forth. Picture it swinging in a dark room, right? Picture it swinging left, right. Every swing feels true while it's happening, right? When it swings one way, you feel like destiny is calling your name. You see the vision, you see the future, you see the body, the money, the art, the life, the relationship, the version of you that finally makes sense. Then it swings the other way. Now, everything feels like doom. You feel behind, you feel foggy, you feel like maybe the old version of you is still too close. You start questioning if any of the progress is real. And that's where people get lost. Because they do not feel the swing, they become the swing. You just want to trust yourself, but your emotions keep changing. You want to feel deeply, but you don't want to be ruined by every feeling and ruled by every feeling. You want discipline, but you do not want to become numb. You want to build something serious, but you cannot rebuild the whole blueprint every single time the weather in your chest changes. That is the tension. Now, the question is, how can I stay human while being ruled? How can I feel without folding? How do I build from the center? Think of it. A boxer gets hit in the face, clocked real hard. And what could we do, right? A boxer gets hit, but the first job is not revenge. The first job is to return to stance. If he gets emotional, he starts reacting, and he moves from a reactive state. If he starts reaching, he gets exposed. If he gets exposed, he gets punished. The stance is the center. Not because he did not feel the punch, but because the punch is not going to steal the structure. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, legend, 24, right? Kobe Bryant could miss a shot and still take the next one like he belonged there. That is not arrogance. That is relationship with the game. A missed shot does not rewrite his identity as a person. A bad possession does not exile him from greatness. The great ones know how to return to a game before the last moment becomes a god for the person. Iconic superhero himself, Spider-Man. Peter Parker's life is emotional chaos half the time, majority of the time. You all know the writers hate the dude. They hate that nigga to an extent. They hate him, bro. I don't know why they do that to him. They just burn him by the stake, right? Love, guilt, money problems, responsibility, loss, identity, pressure. All these things that we feel ourselves as humans, which is why we relate to Peter Parker and Spider-Man and the story of Spider-Man so much. Because we see ourselves in him. We may not have the superpower spider powers that he has, but we see ourselves through him, right? But the lesson of Spider-Man, and I think something that we need to take for ourselves, isn't feel nothing. It's the responsibility that responsibility cannot depend on emotional weather. You still have time to choose what is right, and when your nervous system is loud. You still have the opportunity to choose what is right, even when your nervous system is loud. Neo becomes powerful when he stops only reacting to what is in front of him and starts seeing the code underneath, the matrix. That is what self-mastery is. Not, I never feel fear. Not more like, I know what this is. I can see the pattern. I do not have to obey the illusion. The book of Ecclesiastes, the Bible, right? There is a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Sessions are real, but sessions are not, and seasons are not identity. The pendulum is movement, not wisdom. A feeling can be intense and still not be final. I think a lot of us tend to gaze so much at what is going on currently that we do not allow ourselves to look and zoom out and think of what's going on and what this is working toward. So we tend to focus so hard on this one moment that brings us down when we know that it is bringing us to something better, right? Think of it, right? This is one of the biggest lessons I learned for myself. And I want you to learn this as well. Just because the feeling is loud does not mean it is right. Just because the thought is sharp does not mean it is true. Just because the body feels urgent doesn't mean the spirit should obey itself, should obey it. Just because the day starts heavy does not mean the whole future changed. It doesn't mean the whole day changed. You could still have a successful day and have an off morning. I had to learn that for myself multiple times. So it goes both ways. Despair is a swing, but confidence can be a swing too. That part matters. Sometimes people only think imbalance looks like sadness, lust, anger, shame, fear. But imbalance can also look like overexcitement. I figured it all out. I need to build this whole thing tonight. I need to change everything. I need to explain the whole vision. I need to become this final form and final version of myself by this specific date. That can be a swing too. Sometimes the high is just as dangerous as the lows, because both can pull you away from the center. Ooh, that's a bar. Sometimes the highs can be as potent as the lows. So we need to pull ourselves toward the center and live life through the center, the mandorla. The center says I can feel inspired without becoming impulsive. I can feel low without becoming hopeless. I can feel hungry without becoming reckless. I can feel confident without becoming arrogant. I can feel tempted without obeying, and I can feel uncertain without abandoning the build. The center is not numbness. The center is government. We must govern ourselves. The center is not boredom. The center is not I don't care. The center is the part of you that can still choose. So why do we neglect the center? Why do we live life on both sides, on either extremes, when true life is lived through the center? The peace of both the left and the right. The peace of the left and the right? This is something I'm learning in real time, as I said earlier. Because when you are building something that you know is bigger than one season, you cannot let the one mood become the architect, right? Look at these things I have on my wall. Look at what this is for. This is to remind me whenever I feel off or question myself at any moment in time. This is to remind me of where I'm going. You know? I know I'm building something serious. I don't have to hand everybody the blueprint. We need to stop handing people the blueprint, matter of fact. I don't have to explain every room in the kingdom, but I know what I'm building, and that's what matters at the end of the day. And because of that, because I know that, I can't let every emotional swing make me question the whole thing and make me question if I'm doing the right thing, because I know at the end of the day and deep down in my heart I am. Right? Some days the vision feels cinematic. I can almost cry feeling it. Some days it feels so quiet that I question myself at times. Some days it feels like I'm 2 steps away. Some days it feels like I'm staring at the fog of the day, of the skies. But the road has not disappeared. Only the visibility is decreased. Right? That is a different thing. And when you understand that, you stop letting the day bully the direction. You stop letting one bad hour tell you the whole season is fake. You stop letting one missed rep tell you your body is changing. You stop letting yourself have one minor setback and let that determine how you're going to live for the rest of your life. It's so simple, but we tend to forget it. I don't know how we forget it. It's so crazy. You stop letting one low view video tell you the message has no weight and you're not going to be successful. You let one small view video or one small view song let you stop yourself from being the best version of yourself as an artist that you can. Nigga. What? Why y'all do that to yourselves? Why do y'all let yourselves be so depressed by one setback? I'm not telling you this as someone who never feels that feeling. I feel it, but I don't let it govern me, and I don't want it to let it govern me. Because I've seen myself at my worst. So I want to constantly keep myself at my best as I can every single day. And I want you to do the same. It's simple. I promise you that. Right? When you understand that, you stop letting the day bully your direction. You stop letting one delay tell you God is not moving in your life, my nigga. You stop letting one feeling wear the crown, right? I'm building something bigger than the mood of one day. Every single day I wake up, I can wake up in multiple moods. I can wake up feeling like I'm on top of the world. I can wake up feeling like I want to die. I can wake up feeling that, damn, this must be this because this is not here. I could wake up feeling so many things. Some mornings before I even brush my teeth, the mind is already thinking about 50 things at once. Part of it is due to me having ADHD. It is what it is. I've learned to live with it, right? I've learned to work with it the best I can. You're behind. You need to rush. People around you are doing better than you, so why aren't you doing the same thing, right? You should feel better by now. You need to change everything about yourself to fit in and make yourself feel good about yourself, right? But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to let the first feeling name the idea and name the day. Am I lying? I'm just asking, am I lying, right? The first feeling of the day is not automatically the title of the chapter, right? A hooper missed a shot. Kobe missed a shot, right? If he let that one miss become his whole identity, the game is already over. You've seen some of the most outrageous shots Kobe has shot, my nigga. I know y'all niggas have seen some of the craziest shots that Kobe has shot against 5 people, the whole team, and he still shot that shit. He missed it. Yo, but it's Kobe Bryant, right? So we ain't gonna question it, but let's say you playing basketball and for some reason the whole team's on you and you decide, man, I'm gonna shoot the ball and go. Everybody's on your ass, by the way. I'm gonna shoot the ball. Yo, what you doing, my nigga? Everybody's gonna say the same thing, right? What you doing, my nigga? What you doing, bro? Like, what? So it's the same thing. Cause if you're firm in your identity, even if you miss that crazy shot, which I don't know why you would take that shot, but if you feel like that, that's how you feel, then do that, right? If you feel that and you miss it, then say, hey, ball up top. We're going to get the next possession, right? And we're going to score that, right? Now, notice how Kobe keeps shooting, and I want you to do the same thing. He is shooting his insecurity. He's not defending with the next play. He's arguing with the last one. If he lets that one miss happen, that's what happens. You argue with your identity. You question yourself. You gain insecurity, right? Don't let one missed shot change your relationship with the game. That's Kobe, bro. That's what Mamba mentality is, right? His identity was waking up and getting these games in early. That was his whole thing. Kobe's greatness was not just in shot making. It was his ability to stay in relationship with the game after the game hit back. That's how life is. Life is gonna hit you, and you gotta hit it right back with the power of the high power. You gotta hit it right back. You gotta hit that shit like boom, left, right, uppercut. You gotta hit life and tell you, hey, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I got it. I can hold myself. Whatever you throw at me, I'm gonna throw it right back, even harder. Pause. Let's talk about the couple days ago. I know y'all saw the Knicks game, right? I know y'all saw the Knicks versus Spurs. And we were very surprised to see the Knicks won. I was surprised to hear the Knicks won. I wasn't really keeping up, but I kind of expected the Spurs to win because the monumentous run they were on. I was expecting them to win, right? But y'all saw the Knicks had won for the first time in, 30 years? That's crazy. That's like the 90s. Yeah, it's the first time winning since the 90s, bro. The 90s. The 90s. That's crazy. The 90s. Bro. The score, everything. They refused to let what was expected to happen. That's why people think that the games are scripted. They broke the script. They broke what was expected of them to respond with after losing to the Spurs. And winning and then losing again. They broke the script. I expected them to lose. And they won. That's dopeness. That's crazy, bro. City going mad, ridiculous, crazy, right? Years of jokes, frustration, waiting, false starts, almost monuments, almost moments. And still, the Madison Square Garden energy never left. It always stayed. Sometimes to a fault, but that's okay. We have our flaws and faults, right? That is the relationship with the game. A fan base can go through years of disappointment and still show up like the next thing matters. Because it does. That's what the center is. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Because if every loss becomes identity, you stop believing before the breakthrough arrives. Right? One possession is not the whole career. One season is not the whole franchise. One swing is not the whole identity. Now take that concept and apply it to life. Boom. One bad video, one awkward conversation, one emotional day. You shoot your shot with a girl you like and she rejects you. Keep going, right? Keep going, bro. That's not your identity. Your identity is not a person who is rejected. If you let that become your identity off one or two losses, or these losses, quote unquote, then that will be your identity, right? One temptation, one job delay, the moment of doubt, one slow season, one possession, not the whole career. That's the idea. That's the whole motive. That's the whole idea. I know I'm building something bigger than the mood of the day. I don't need to reveal every single piece of it, right? I don't need to convince everyone before it is visible. But I know enough to keep showing up. And because of that, I can't afford to make every feeling a throne, right? Some of you I know are building something great too, right? Some of you are going to be something great. Maybe it's not public yet. Maybe you don't fully know yet, right? Maybe nobody around you fully understands it yet. Maybe it still looks small or just a small idea or ideation in your head. Maybe it's still in the room, in the notes, in the drafts, in the gym, in the quiet hours, in the walks, in the prayers. But if it's real, then you can't let every swing and miss make you abandon it, right? So ask yourself, where do you keep confusing a swing with an identity? When anger comes, do you become angry? When lust comes, do you become lustful? When fear comes, do you become fear? When motivation comes, do you think you are finally saved? When doubt comes, do you think you are finally exposed? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves when these emotions show up. Because it doesn't have to be our identity. When excitement comes, do you overpromise? When sadness comes, do you disappear? Do you despair? Shit. That is the work. Not to stop feeding, to stop crowning every feeling. You can say, I feel this, without saying this is me. Right? You can say this is present, without saying this is king. You are allowed to feel the swing. You are allowed to have weather. You are allowed to have bad moments. We're human, bro. You are allowed to wake up and not feel like yourself. Not feel like the final version you want to be. You are allowed to be a human being. But you are not required to obey every single moment as your identity. You are not required to turn every feeling into a throne. You are not required to let every mood rewrite the rep. Bro, the work is not to become emotionless. The work is to return to a place that you can still choose. Return to your stance. Return to the game. Return to the walk. Return to God, bro. Return to the next correct action that will take you where you want to be in your life. Right? Don't worship the swing. Return to the center. Return to who you want to be. Return to who you say you are. And act like that. Don't let nobody bring you down, bro. What the fuck? I'm swearing so much. Don't let anybody bring you down, man. What the hell? Be you, dude. I love y'all. Peace out.